Hi you guys, it's Karina. So I am back with another video tutorial today. And today I am going to be teaching you how to make these hibiscus inspired flowers. So I did use two templates here. I did use my template 89 and my template 88. I'm going to be using my template 88 and we're going to be making this kind of peachy corally color right here. So that was my template 88. So I'm going to show you what the SVG looks like and which two petals I used. So then that way you get an idea what petals to use with template 89 if you decide to make this backdrop. I am also going to teach you 4 different palm styles that are shown here because I did do 4 different palm styles for this backdrop. So I will also be sharing with you how to make those in case you want to make a backdrop yourself. Now, I do want to mention that the hibiscus center is separate from the template. So I do sell the template separately and the hibiscus center separately as well, just because the hibiscus center can be used with other templates as well. I do have a video tutorial already here on my YouTube channel. I want to say it's on my template 8, creating a flower with that and then using the hibiscus image. And I also have a separate video tutorial I want to say strictly on the hibiscus center, just a little walkthrough on how I kind of just measure the centers and figure out what sizing I need for the hibiscus, okay? And you can find these templates on my Etsy for the florals. And then the palms, guys, that just requires no template at all, which is so nice. So yeah, you don't have to worry about no template with that one. That I'm gonna show you step by step on how to make these palms. Okay, you guys, so we're going to start off creating this hibiscus inspired flower right here. So again, I am using two different templates for the flowers, 89 and 88. As mentioned, they are the same style flower. The only difference is different sizing, just because particular people like larger flowers, smaller flowers. So I do have that. And I do have actually other sizes as well, 86 and 87 along with 58. There's a lot of them. So template 58, 86, 87, 88, 89 are all the same style flower, just different sizing, and they all have just 4 petals, which is nice. And I have more video tutorials on them, you guys, here on my YouTube channel, but we're going to make this particular size right here. She's roughly around close to 7 inches. So I'm going to show you which 2 petals I used, and then I'm just going to kind of go over the SVG of the 88 and then just show you which 2 petals I used. Okay, you guys, so we are on design space. If you have silhouette, you can also use this SVG silhouette. Now, I do want to mention too that this template does come in PDF as well. So when you purchase the SVG, you also get the PDF as well, in case if you don't have a cutting machine and you prefer hand cutting, the PDF is available for you. Okay, so this is what the SVG will look like if you get templates 86, 87, 88, 89, or 58. Again, they're all the same style flower, just different sizing. This is what it will look like, the SVG. Obviously, we noticed that it is attached. You are going to have to ungroup the SVG. You will notice there are directions. The directions are strictly for resizing the petals, not necessarily, there's not going to be a tutorial because all my templates have video tutorials for you on YouTube or Instagram, and those will all be linked under the item description when you purchase the templates off Etsy. So I am going to tell you, for example, here, purple is 7, and you're only going to be changing the height, okay? So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to make sure that it is locked. I am going to go here and I am going to resize her to 7. You can definitely type this in, but because I'm using my other hand, I'm not able to. So you're going to resize all the petals. I've already resized them, so I have them here. So let me just go ahead and delete this. And once you have them resized to how you want them, like I already have mine resized, I just save them. That way I don't have to redo the directions every single time I want to use this template, okay? So mine are actually already saved as the sizing that it has to be. And I took my grid off, so if it's throwing you off, why it looks different is because I don't have the grid in the back. I don't know, sometimes it's distracting, so I just take it away. So we are going to be doing the 7-inch as I mentioned. So I'm actually going to be using these 2 petals, and you are going to need 6 of them. And all I do is just select all and then duplicate. Oh, I group them. So there we go. 4, 5, 6. So I already have 6 sets. Now, say you want to do another size. This is what I did. I duplicated this one. Okay, brought that one with this buddy over here, or this petal. I changed the color, and then I duplicated these 6 times. So this is going to be, this could be another set. Okay, so then what I did next was then I duplicated this one, brought this buddy with the larger petal, and then I changed the coloring. And then I duplicated these 6 times. So that is how I made those flowers that I just showed you in the beginning, along with template 89. I did exactly the same thing where I grouped the 2 larger petals and the 2 middle petals and then the 2 small petals, and then just made 6 petals of each. Okay, but again, we're gonna I'm gonna be doing the pink ones because I need one more smaller flower. So let me go ahead and delete these and cut these out, and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so I had my Cricut machine cut my petals out. So I was able to use one 8.5 by 11 cardstock sheet, and they were all able to fit. I just had to kind of maneuver it because, you know, they like to suggest how they think, but no, I just mess around with it trying to fit all of the petals. So as mentioned, you're going to need 6 of each, and this is only going to be a 2-layer flower. Typically for my hibiscus flowers, I like to do either 1 layer or 2, just to keep it pretty simple, just because I really want the center to be the focal point. So I have used template 8 as well, making the hibiscus flowers with that template. So there is a video tutorial on that template 8, if you want to watch it. Again, you can use any template that you may have. You don't have to use necessarily any of my templates. If you have a template that you think the hibiscus center will look great with, then that'd be great. So just again, because I can't tell you how many times people have purchased the hibiscus center and then think that the petals come included, which I do specify in the item description that it's strictly just the hibiscus center. Okay, and I'll show you what that center looks like in a little bit. So these are our petals. I am using the color Salmon. I want to say it's from the brand Spring Hill. So you're just going to get something to curl the petals back, just like that. You're going to do this to all your petals. And apologies if my kids barge in. This is why I really haven't been making videos, because I have all 4 kids at home, summer break, so it's been very, very hard to record tutorials. But I'm hoping once they start next week, I will get back into the routine of trying to post at least 1 video per week here on YouTube, because I still have a lot of templates that I have to transfer for my template website to Etsy. So yeah, I used to sell templates on another website, but only because I was getting overwhelmed when I was on Etsy. But I've kind of made the decision, and this was a while back, to kind of focus more on templates and not so much on floral sets. Just because honestly, my passion is more teaching and creating new templates. And so at one point I was doing both and it got overwhelming. Now I've kind of toned down back the paper flower sets. I still do them, but just not regularly. So now I'm doing the switch of moving all those templates from my other website to Etsy, because they're not all on Etsy, you guys. I have lots of them still. So once you have your petals all curled, you are just going to do this. So yes, if you have found me on Etsy with templates, that's not all of them, you guys. I have so many more. But it's a process, I'll be honest, to trying to transfer all of them onto Etsy and making sure that they all have updated tutorials, and that's what I'm trying to do. Once I put them on Etsy, that's because they have updated tutorials, or I'm confident with the video tutorial that they already have for you guys to learn. So it's just, again, it's a process, but we're getting there. I think the next template that I'll be sharing with you guys, which was on my template website, not on Etsy, though, is my template 94. It's one of my favorites. So that will be coming soon. I'll be sharing multiple flowers you can make with that template. So as you can see, we just cut in the center and we are just gluing on the bottom. So again, if you decide to get the other templates, 86, 87, 88, or 89, or 58, you will pretty much follow the same steps that I am showing you now. I am using Surebonder's mini detailed glue gun, in case you're wondering. And then there we go. So now, you know what? Let me go get my mat to put underneath. Okay, I am back. Just make sure I'm not trying to get glue on my desk. So here is my mat. So I am going to add a small little dot of glue. Can you see that? To the corner of the petal, just a small dot in case we need to readjust. So your goal here is just to go around in a circle. Now, because this is on the smaller side of a flower, you definitely can use text weight paper as well. One. See, I am going to readjust because this one, not liking her right there. So I'm going to lift the petal up, add another small dot of glue. There we go. Okay, that looks much better. So now we see that little gap right there that we have. Get some scrap. I'm just going to go ahead and use the same little scraps that we have from what I cut out. So this will definitely work, and we're just going to cut out a circle. Just like that. Oh, I hear footsteps. Okay, so we cover that up. Now, we're going to go ahead and grab the next petal. I'm only going to add glue to the left side. Well, facing me, that's the left. And we're going to go in between. So I'm going to add glue. So now remember the other one, the first petal we laid down, I just added over here to the left because we're going to tuck this one in underneath. Okay, so I tucked it in underneath this one just because I think it gives it a better look. And you are all done. This is all. So now we need to do the hibiscus center. So this is how I kind of determine how big we need the center. I get myself a measuring tape or a ruler. This is what I do with all my centers, because sometimes it's like, well, what kind of size do I need? When I first started out, it was a lot of the times it was like just guessing and then wasting paper. So this is my go-to now. Get your measuring tape or a ruler and then measure how wide you are going to want that center to be. I want to say probably 2.5, so 2.5. Maybe not. 2.4, let me see. Here's 2. Okay, I think I'm gonna do 2.3 actually. Okay, so the bottom one is how big is what I'm trying to envision, how big I want it. So I'm gonna go 2.3 is what I think I'm gonna do, how wide or how long I want it. So let's go to Design Space and let me show you what that hibiscus image looks like. Okay, you guys, so when you purchase the hibiscus floral center, you're only going to get the little stamen part and then this bottom part. But I like to there we go. I like to duplicate this part right here, the purple one, because I like to add a smaller one in the center to give it more of a two-tone look. This is an option, but this is the way I do it. So all you're gonna do is just duplicate the image, the larger one, and then just make one smaller and then just layer it on top. So that way, if you want to do that, okay, so that's what I did. Because when you purchase the SVG, I think it's SVG, when you purchase the hibiscus center, you're only going to get one of these, okay? So, and then you're going to be like, well, why isn't there 2? You're just going to duplicate it and make it smaller and make it as small or however you want to do it, okay? The center. Does that make sense? Okay. So this is typically how I do my hibiscus center. I make this larger. Again, you're just going to mess with the look that you want. Now, remember I said that I wanted it roughly around 2.3. So this is what I do. So I group it together. And then I go to height. And this is pretty much, I'm just going to mess around with it. I'm gonna go to 3 real quick and let's see how that looks. Okay, we're gonna go to 3. So now I'm going to touch the purple image. Okay, good. So I'm touching the purple image because the 3, it's because it's the whole image, including the stamen. That's why it's 3 inches height wise, but that's not taking into account the purple one. That's going to be way smaller. So that's why then I click on the purple one and it's giving me 2.4 and width 2. So width is a little bit shorter than the height. The height, it is a little bit more taller, so that is giving me 2.4. That's going to be perfect. I think this size is going to be perfect. So now I am going to make it. And I do have another video tutorial on strictly on the hibiscus center, which is more detailed. I feel like maybe this one wasn't as good of an explanation, but I do have a video tutorial, you guys, strictly on just the hibiscus center and how to resize it and all that. So I'm gonna cut out the larger one, and I think I'm gonna do a dark color. So I think I'm gonna do a coral color right here. This is from Michael's. It looks orangey, but we're gonna cut that out. So let me cut these out and I'll be right back. Okay, so my center is all cut out. So here is the larger part of the center. So I'm gonna go ahead and add glue to the back and then place that in the center. So I typically, see this top part where it has like these 3 right here, kind of looks like a crown to me. That's kind of like my guide. That is what I want facing up. So then I always like to either do, so if I do dark, then I like the center to be light, or if I do the opposite, light color in the back, then I do a dark color in the center. So I always do just opposite of that. So we're gonna go with a lighter pink color in the center. Just like that. So see how it pops. And now we're gonna go ahead and do the center. So I like to add a little bit of glue to the bottom and then do that in the center, just like that. Look how cute. So that is how to make the hibiscus florals with the hibiscus center using my template 88. So now I'm gonna go add her to the other floral backdrop. All right, you guys, and there she is. I went ahead and added her along with the other hibiscus flowers. How cute is that? So I hope you found that helpful on how to make these hibiscus inspired flowers. So now if you want to learn how to make some of these palms, then stay tuned. Okay, you guys, so we are on to the palms. So we're going to be making this one right here. So again, all these palms require no template, and I am going to show you three quick ones that I have incorporated onto my, four of them I'm going to show you that I have incorporated in that backdrop that I am making. So you're going to get an 8.5 by 11 cardstock sheet. Now this is typically the one that I do for my 8.5 by 11. So as you can see, there's a size difference, but that all depends on how you're going to fold the paper. If you're going to fold it long ways, I call this the hot dog way. I used to be a kindergarten teacher, so this is I used to get my kids to fold the paper. Hot dog ways, the long ways, you'll get this palm a little bit longer. If you want something more shorter, which is what I needed, a little bit more wider, then you're going to fold it the hamburger way. Kindergarten teacher before. I used to be a kindergarten teacher, so that's just how it comes to be. So we're going to fold it in half. Okay. So now you're going to start where it is folded. So you don't want the open part. We're going to start right here. So now we're going to shape our palm. You're going to cut kind of all the way towards the end and start shaping it, curve it. And now you're going to kind of like you're making a leaf and then go all the way up. So this is kind of the shape that you want. Now, don't throw away your scrap. We're just going to cut a small rectangular piece because we're going to use this when it's time to glue the bottom. Now, optional, but this is what I personally use, is a scoreboard to score the lines so that way they're nice and even. Okay, so that is what I will be using. Now this scoreboard is from Amazon. Just type in scoreboard / paper trimmer and they're gonna give you so many, you guys. So this one I bought over a year ago because the one I have, which I still use, the one that I got from Michael's many years ago, but it's already broken in half. So honestly, I only use the half. Oh man, I just can't throw it away. So you're also going to need something to score with. Now this does come with a pen to score. Personally, I just don't like to use that. I like to use my McGill tools, and I use this one. So this one is the 3mm one. That's the one that I like to use to score. So now I'm going to flip this around. So as you can see, we already have a creased line. So I am going to go on to number 15. And I'm going to line it up. So as you can see how I kind of using my scoring tool, and then where the number I want, I'm just going all the way down. I'm just making sure that it really lines up because sometimes these lines can play tricks on you. And now I'm going to score. Okay, so scoring, it all depends how wide you want these lines to be, meaning like space wise, if you want them closer to one another or if you want them more wider. It does change the look of your palm. Okay, so some of them I do them closer. So this one is closer. Some of them I do a little bit more separate. It's all on your preference. Now, if you don't have a scoreboard, you can do the old way of just, you know, the paper fans that you would fold back and forth. You can do exactly the same thing. You can do that, okay? So you don't need, but let me show you what I meant by the lines. Notice the difference on the creases. We have more creases here. That's because I did more of shorter distance. And then these I did a little bit more wider, okay? So as you can see, there's definitely a difference. And I like to do a variety. So I already did this half. Let me finish the other half and I'll be back. Okay, so now that you have it all scored, you are going to fold back and forth. Just like this. And the score lines is what you are, those are your guide. as to where you are creasing. All right, so let me do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so my palm is all folded. So now you're gonna gather it from the bottom. Okay, so you don't wanna gather it from up here because then that's gonna look weird, okay? You're gathering it from the bottom. Typically to me, the front is where this crease is facing me up instead of back. Again, that is all on your preference too, because I have seen some that prefer it this way. I personally prefer it where the corner is creased up like this, pointing me, okay? I hope that makes sense. So now I am going to add my glue. Now, I don't know if I mentioned, but I am using 65-pound cardstock. So when I do work on palms, that's my ideal weight, is 65-pound cardstock or text weight paper. Certain palms I like to use text weight paper, and then like the 65-pound, personally I like to use it for this style palm. And now I'm just gonna glue the back of that, open it up, and voila, you have a palm leaf. Now you can leave it like this, or if you kind of wanted to give it a little look at the creases, you are going to cut. Up to you how far down you want to go. Just follow that crease line and cut there. And then just open it up and see how that changes the palm, the look of the palm, and voila, there you go. So you can cut and have it look like that, or don't cut it and have the palm look like that. So I personally do both when it comes to sets, just because I like a little bit of variety. All right, so now that we're done with this palm, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do this one. Okay, on to this one. So sorry, I thought I was recording and turns out I didn't. So you're going to fold the paper the same way, the hamburger way that we did the other palm. But this time we are just going to cut a corner and we're going to smooth it out. Just one corner, you're just gonna smooth her out, okay? So once you cut that corner, you're going to open her up. Okay, so this is what you should have. I like to flip mine around. And then typically I go, depending on your marks on your scoreboard, I typically go, I look for 15. I'm just making sure that it matches up. I'm scoring. So for this one as well, depending on your spacing of the lines, if you want to make them wider or closer together, this one I am doing it a little bit more closer together. I don't know why, but I find this so relaxing scoring. So I already did this half. Let me go ahead and finish the other half. Okay, so they're all scored. So same thing. Now you are going to, on this, wherever you scored, you're just doing back and forth folding, accordion style, just like this. Okay, so now that it's all folded, I'm gonna go right here where this is where it's straight, this is where it's gonna be your bottom, so just gather. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I need to cut a piece off. So we're gonna gather. I'll say this is a different color green, but that's okay. Just glue around. I'm gonna snip that off. I like my end to end kind of towards the back. Okay, flip it. And then there you go. So to me, this is the front when this is kind of facing forward to me, okay? Instead of these facing the back, that to me is the back for me. So this is front. Again, all in your preference. Now, get your scissors. I am using their Carbo Titanium scissors. These are my go-to for many years now. You are going to cut on the creased lines down. Personally, I like to go pretty low because the lower that you go, the wider your fan palm is going to spread open. So if you go shorter, then it's not going to open up as wide. So again, there you can create different looks, I guess, depending on how low you go. Okay, so now I like to open it up. So as you can see how much it has opened up. You could leave it like this if you want. I like more of a pointed look. So then you are just going to make tips. And spreading it open helps you better to cut, because if they're too tightly closed like that, I find it not that easy to cut these little tips. And that's it, you guys. So let me finish this up and I'll be right back. Okay, so they're all cut, and then just spread them open, and voila, there's the second style palm. Okay, you guys, now let me show you this palm, which is the round palm. And I want to say that I do have a video tutorial already on this one. Super simple as well. So you are going to fold your paper again, hamburger way. So again, depending on how you fold this will determine the size of your palm. So I did it hamburger way, but if you were to do it the longer way, you know, obviously your palm would be a little bit more taller. This is 8.5 by 11 too. You can definitely use 12 by 12 cardstock, or even I've seen Michael's actually carry larger size paper. So again, the bigger the paper, the bigger your palm's going to be. So we're gonna start off the same way, like how we did our triangle palm kind of, which is similar, but we're gonna round this off. You're gonna go wide and then shorter on the top. Now you want to make sure that this is kind of more on a straight. You don't want it pointy. You kind of just want it rounder. Kind of just like this shape right here. Okay. I'm going to open her up. Now I am going to cut. I don't like to waste paper, you guys. So I am going to cut a small little strip to hold the bottom. Hopefully that'll be enough. Find yourself a number where you start. See, it wasn't lining up. It's still not lining up. Come on. Goes there. There, okay, I think we have her lined up. There you go. So now I am going to start creasing. So you get the gist, right? So let me go ahead and score and I'll be right back. All right, we are all scored. So we're going to fold back and forth let me finish that part up. Okay, you guys, so mine are all folded. So now, where are you going to gather? You are going to gather at the widest part, the longest part down here. So not the shorter, because that's going to be your top. So you're just going to gather, pinch, add your glue, then your piece of paper, just glue it around. And then just open it up and voila, now you have a round palm. Okay, you guys, so we are going to go on to the last palm, which is this one right here. So this is going to be my lazy palm because it's I call it lazy just because it's easier. It's and it's a nice filler. So typically, let me grab one right here that I have in my office. So typically when I make this palm, I cut the strips. I do like a lot of strips so it looks more fringy, okay? That can be tedious, especially when you're doing a lot of them. So this is why I'm calling it my lazy one, because I'm only doing 3 of them, but I still think it gives it a look. Again, I like a variety, so I'm going to show you how to do that one. Now, if you want to learn how to do this one, again, I have a video tutorial already sharing with you guys. And again, depending on how small you cut the paper, you can get different sizes, okay? So this is half of an 8.5 by 11, and then this is, I don't even remember what size. I think I folded an 8.5 and 11 by 4. Actually, I do have a video tutorial, you guys, also on like the super mini palms as well, okay? Aren't they adorable? I'm starting to get obsessed with palms. So I did switch my paper trimmer scoring board. Again, this is the one that I told you that I've had for many years, and I am missing half of it. Half of it is broken. So I tend to use this one. Why? Because the other one has inches, millimeters, and centimeters, and it gets, for my eyes, it gets overwhelming where the lines are, and I like, because I want this a little bit wider, I prefer to have the inches, just the inches on the top. The other one has, I think it has the inches and the centimeters on the top, and it's just visually, it hurts my eyes. So we're gonna go with this one because it's a lot more simpler. I hope that made sense. So get your cardstock. This time we're gonna fold it the long ways. And you are going to cut it. We're just going to round off a corner, just like that. Open her up. And now you are going to score. So I'm going to go over here towards the end. And score. Now I am doing every 1/2 inch. Now for this one, you are going to have a little bit of leftover, so that I cut once I am done. So let me just make sure that this is lined up. Yes. Let me finish scoring. I don't think I ever mentioned, you guys, but the McGill tools, you can get them. I've seen them on Amazon. I purchased mine many years ago from Joann's online. All right, so I am done with that. Now I'm going to get my scissors, and I am just going to cut off the ends just because they're shorter. So I'm just going to get rid of those. Okay, now you're going to fold. back and forth. Sorry if the lighting is starting to get a little bit off. The sun is going down, but I need to take advantage that my kids are preoccupied and not bothering me. They're outside in the sprinklers. Don't worry, my husband's watching them. So I told them, you know what? I'm gonna run to my office and finish recording. So that is what we need. I am going to cut a strip. Is this the same color? Probably not, but I already have it here, so I'm just gonna do half of that. Gather from the bottom, not from the round part. You want the straight part. Glue. We're going to snip some of this off. Okay, so this is what you should have. Now we are going to cut. Going almost halfway down, not quite, but almost half. Again, to your preference, how wide. I just don't want this to be too wide. Now you're going to corner these as well. Give them the tips just like that other palm that we did. Okay, now I am just going to do 2 cuts. 1, 2, just like that. 1, 2. So you're just going in the middle. And I am not cutting all the way down where I did that first cut. You know, she's not the cutest, but I think once she is all with her other palm friends, she looks super cute. And there you go. She's all done. So now I'm going to take you back to all the palms so you can see them all together. All right, you guys, so there are the 4 palms on the top that I just shared with you guys today. So definitely, if you want to make a backdrop like this, just make a variety in different colors and look how pretty they could look. So I hope you found this helpful on how to create these hibiscus flowers using my hibiscus center and my template 88 and 89. And if you have any questions, you can message me either on my Instagram, Ariel Elise Designs, my Etsy, where you will find some of my templates, along with palm sets that I do sell for party decor and whatnot. And my TikTok, I do messages there as well. I just started on my TikTok, so I'm not the most expert, but I have been starting to do a little bit of videos on there as well. And I will chat with you guys later. Bye.